And the topic of our first talk now is online knowledge exchange in international cultural work. And I first want to talk why this topic. We, in our first talk, wanted to talk about what we are going to do. So this is the first edition of KumaTalks 2.0. And we want to offer a platform to talk or to exchange, to talk about modes of working in the field of culture and via the internet using the tool Adobe Connect, which you see the environment right now. And this very briefly, so you see we have two invitees today, David Röthler from Austria. Hello, David.
Hello, everybody.
And Goran Tomka from Serbia. Welcome. So you can also hear our two speakers, our two experts that will join us today. Everyone taking part as a participant, you have the possibility to take part in this discussion via chat. You will find it on the left lower corner on your screen. You already have used it, so I see you are familiar. So please use it, write everything that you have in mind, questions, comments, recommendations. We have also a second moderator. I will introduce you to her. It's Vita Wortmann. She's sitting right next to me, but she's not having a microphone, but she will monitor the chat. So don't be afraid that the question will get lost. What I also want to inform you beforehand is that we will record this discussion. So everything I've just said will be recorded. Also, the chat discussion will be recorded. So everything that you write, you can also see it afterwards. The recording will be available from a direct link that we will post on our website. The website is www.kuma-talk.eu. So because it is the first meeting, I want briefly also to talk about the initiative KumaTalks 2.0. It is an initiative coming from the network of Robert Bosch Cultural Managers. Robert Bosch Cultural Managers, there are 4 programs by the Robert Bosch Foundation that give scholarships to cultural managers to go and work abroad in cultural institutions. There are at the moment 4 programs. 3 programs where people from cultural managers, professional in the field of culture from Germany go to the regions Central and Eastern Europe, to the region Russian federations, and to the countries of the Arab world. And there's one program where cultural managers and professionals from the field of culture from the region Central and Eastern Europe goes to Germany, working there for 1 year or 2 years in cultural institutions. This is an initiative of the fellows, so the alumni of these 4 programs. We are at the moment already a network of more than 150 fellows, and this is also a tool to connect them and also to connect them with other experts in the field of culture. Today we invited David Röthler and Goran Tomka to talk with us about the topic online knowledge exchange and international cultural work. David Röthler, he has a lot of experience, much more experience than we have with this specific format and in general with tools regarding the internet, connection over the internet and social media. He has online, not only online, a platform called projektkompetenz.eu, but also is the co-initiator of a series of online discussions called Kulturmanagement Treffpunkt. It's a discussion series in German. which started in the year 2010, and since then they have monthly meetings with a very similar format than ours, or better to say, we were quite inspired by their format and thought it's quite a nice idea to have this option to discuss online, and we want to expand this idea of talking in German, to expand it to talk on an international level. This is why our talk will be in English. So he will present this platform, but also talk in general about the technical aspects, about the possibilities and options that we have to talk, to exchange knowledge via the internet. And I think he will also put a specific focus on the question why it is interesting to talk and to meet online in live. Why not just to watch already filmed and monitored things, but why to talk and meet live in the internet? But at that point, before I continue, I want to ask also the participants in the chat if any of you have ever participated on a Kulturmanagement Treffpunkt talk. Maybe you can just type quickly if you have been there. Just type there or I. Yeah, David has posted also the link of their platform. Not yet. Okay. I think, yeah, I also recommend you to join one of those meetings. Anyway, to go on, Goran Tomka, he is based in Serbia. He is a PhD student and dealing a lot with the topic of crowdsourcing. He also has initiated several online platforms, cultural online platforms in Serbia, and he will put the focus on the cultural scene in Serbia and also deal more with the questions why online tools are accepted or maybe not accepted in the cultural scene of Serbia. So I think especially in comparison of the two topics, we will have a lot of interesting topics to discuss afterwards. So before we will start now with the first input by David Röthler, I want to ask all the participants, please introduce yourself in the chat. So quickly say where are you from which country you have logged in, and also if you have relevant questions regarding the upcoming talks or our topic, please also feel free to type it down now. Oh yeah. Okay, we will have some more information on the chat, but I almost forgot to introduce ourselves, so I just realized it now. So this initiative of KumaTalks to Zero, we are actually 3 fellows of the Robert Bosch programs organizing this event. There is Andra Weider. You just saw her in the chat. She gathered. She's not with us here now. She gathered in a room next to us around 30 people that will follow the discussion with us. 30 other alumni. So you have to add to the participant lists 9 at least the 30 alumni in the room next door. Andra Vaida, she's originally coming from Romania and at the moment working in Berlin. Then there's also Vita Wortmann. I have introduced her to you. Have I introduced? Yeah. She's sitting next to me, yes, and she's originally coming from Lithuania and at the moment also working in Germany. And me, myself.
Yeah, hello to everybody. I'm very glad to be here as a first presenter of a starting series. Just some words about me. Oops. Yeah, I'm a university lecturer. I'm based in Salzburg, Austria. Furthermore, adult educator, journalist, blogger, consultant in 2 fields, social media and European funded projects. But really, I'm very fascinated about the live online possibilities. Like you see me in this picture with my daughter in a live online conference, like we are now together. Yeah, and let me introduce you how I feel or how I experienced the wealth and yeah, what we can do with such a tool. So it's not a telephone. We all know a telephone is conversation one-to-one. Television is one-to-many. Radio still is one-to-many. One broadcaster and a huge audience. And at this time, Bert Brecht in the 30s of the last century had the idea that radio would be so great if the listener is not only there to listen, but as well to speak, and not to isolate the public, but to place the public in relation to others. So networking and an active participation. So this was a vision 80 years ago, and I think this vision has come true, at least technically, if we see yeah, something like this or like we have here. Yeah, so technically everybody is able to speak and to connect and to network. This is a famous quote by an American professor called Jay Rosen. He calls what we are now the people formerly known as the audience. So it turned somehow upside down. And the term social media, I think, is closely related to what I've been saying before. It's about participation, cooperation, networking, transparency, openness. Yeah, short introduction to the system we are using right now. It is called Adobe Connect. It's this Flash-based online conference systems. So it requires a computer, a browser with Flash installed. A fast computer is a favor because otherwise the transmission of voice and video can be delayed. And it's always good to have a headset to avoid echoes or some background noise or whatever, and the camera is nice. We have a possibility to show presentations like I do right now. I can share my screen. I will do that later, so everybody can see what I'm doing on my screen. We have a lot of features like polls. We can use a whiteboard to draw images together or to, I don't know, whatever, share ideas. Collaborative text editing. We have breakout rooms to split the group in smaller working groups. We could control a remote computer, a nice feature, and recording of meetings like we do right now. We have a Twitter wall. This is a nice feature as well to spread the message and to see what tweets are inside the room. By the way, who is tweeting? Who is using Twitter? Would be interesting to know out of this group. So Twitter really is a good way to connect between meetings and even to discuss during the meeting. Adobe Connect offers as well the possibility to participate via smartphone, Android or iPhone, or even the iPad or tablet PCs. So I think it's a nice option to follow and to join and really to actively discuss while, I don't know, sitting in a cafe or wherever. Formats, yeah, like this discussion. We can have a room and to invite people into this offline meeting. We could connect different rooms. So what you can see here are different rooms where people are actually meeting, but they are connected. We can have a panel discussion and broadcast this live and interactively. I think this is an important thing, not just to transmit it, to broadcast it, but to allow interaction. Or we can bring another person into this was a project meeting of a European funded project, and he could not join on site, but was brought into the meeting via Adobe Connect, and it worked well. This is myself giving a lecture in an ordinary lecture room, and it was nice because people could interact with me really with ease, and it was maybe even more interactive than if I would have been just in front of them. Yeah, because if I would have been in front of them, they wouldn't have opened the chat, and so they could talk to me, and at the same time the chat was open. So it was a second level of interaction. Yeah, this is an example of a microphone which can be used very well for having it in an on-site room. This is another microphone and a speaker at the same time. Who is interested, I can give details on that later. This is a video mixer, like I use it here, so it makes it possible to have different video cameras for the input of a video, and so it can be switched and gives more, yeah, like a TV, like a small TV station, I would say. And yeah, this is a very special machine. It is like a Segway, but it has a camera and a microphone and a screen, and it can be remote controlled by remote participants, and that makes it possible for remote participants to move around and to talk to people directly. So it's a nice tool for remote interactive participants to join an on-site event. Yeah, why synchronous? I think everything that is scarce grows in wealth, and so a certain time means higher attention, and direct interaction is possible, so we can discuss, and it's much more lively than we would have a discussion led on I don't know, on a forum, on a blog. Location does not matter anymore to have this live discussion, reduced carbon footprint. Short meetings, because we don't have to spend any time for traveling. But with challenges, technical issues, not always everything is working fine, and we can be happy it's working right now quite well. But sometimes we are facing problems. Socializing is difficult. We cannot have a coffee together after that, or maybe the 30 in the room I think in Berlin they can have, but we just have this now for interaction, but no possibility to talk in an informal way during a coffee break. And it's a new form of interaction, and we have to get acquainted, become acquainted to that. And this is sometimes everything crashes. It's very seldom now, and it works really. Most of the time it works fine, but it can happen. Maybe some alternatives to Adobe Connect we are using right now. It's a system called Illuminate. It's working fine as well, but I think the layout is somehow old-fashioned and not anymore up to date. GoToMeeting is another nice system, working well, and I do like Second Life. Does anybody of you has an avatar in Second Life? Second Life was quite a hype a couple of years ago, but it declined somehow. The public attention Second Life got some years ago. But I think Second Life is really fun for interaction, and people can talk to each other and can meet and can maybe even be much more creative in doing things together. I don't know, you can dance together, going to swim or whatever. So it can really be fun, but it's a little bit difficult to for first-time users to go around, or to, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Google Hangouts is a low threshold online conferencing tool. Up to 10 people can have a video conference. And that's it for this presentation. My contact details, and I want to show you for 2 minutes, I think I have left, I will share my screen and show you something about the Treffpunkt Kulturmanagement, the online series in German, founded by Christian Hennefer. Maybe some of you know, because he's a well-known blogger, but usually writes in German about cultural management. This is his blog. The next partner is Kulturmanagement.net in Germany. I think they have a well-known website with information and classified, I think, small, And this here is the wiki of the Treffpunkt Kulturmanagement. And here you find all the recordings of the last 22 events. The next event will be on April 18. You are all invited to join. We will talk about video and Facebook, so this special topic. And maybe this is the most important part of it, the Facebook page with already more than 1,000 people who like that, and it developed really well as a point.
Hello, I hope you'll hear me. I am really thank you, David, for all the inspiring ideas and examples, and it's really fascinating to see what technology offers us, and we can almost feel guilty for not using it. And of course, thanks Andra and Vita and Wiebke for inviting and greeting to all the participants and the seems to me happy crowd in Berlin. So David talked very inspiringly about technical conditions or technical capabilities or opportunities for collaboration. But as we all know, even if we do have tools, we sometimes need motivation and need some kind of psychological and sociological climate to actually be able to use all those tools. So you see, I put the 2.0, it's not 2.0, but 2 question mark. So we'll see where this all is trying to go. Do you hear me better now? I hope I'm a bit louder now. Yes. Okay, but before I continue, I'll tell you something about a Serbian cultural system, because I find it's important that simply for those of you that don't know about what's the situation here, we have three very distinct sectors or spheres of culture. I guess that's quite similar to all the other countries. Still, in Serbia, we see that there's a great divide. So these three particles or whatever, they don't collaborate very well. We have public sector, and when it comes to digital technologies, they are really in the age of websites. I mean, that's the maximum for many of the really big public institutions like theaters and museums. They have their websites, and their websites are getting better, and they now start including Facebook and other tools. But if we talk about collaboration, there's no. I mean, it's mainly for marketing issues to raise the visibility of their projects. And then there's a market-oriented sector, including many festivals and companies, the whole creative industries sector, which are really using the digital technologies. But then again, it's a big question mark if that's a collaboration or co-creation, or is it again the marketing. And then we have the third sector that I'll talk mostly about today, or that I best know about, that's been really active recently. That's independent scene. They have now their association of independent scene, and recently they had a great festival called the self-powered festival, meaning that they only use their own resources for what they do, and they're really having great results recently. I can write you the list afterwards if you're interested. But so we often talk about what we can do with digital tools, and it's really we know that we can do so much. We can create digital communities, we can share knowledge, we can contribute to the creation of new knowledge, and at the end we can actually place culture and art in the central part of the social life, which is in Serbia and I guess many countries in the region. Culture is somehow marginalized. So if we want to do that, the question that I have asked during the last year to many culture practitioners and managers in Serbia through interviews and discussions, through research that I have done, is what are the obstacles or limits or challenges to be more open, to use all the tools that we, like David had told us, that are on disposal. So the first question is actually, it's the way of thinking. Do we really need others? And that's quite often what cultural institutions and managers are asking. There's somehow some kind of ideology or philosophy, call it whatever, of self-sufficiency. During the 90s and I guess even earlier, organizations have learned to stay closed and to be self-sufficient, not to rely on anything, not to partners, not to state, not to public, nobody. So many of the institutions are closed. And if we want to create digital communities in culture and art, we really have to fight this kind of ideology that organization is self-sufficient, that a cultural organization does not need anyone from the side. And that's really, I think, the biggest problem that our cultural system is facing at this moment. And of course, even in those years of being closed, some specific practices and ways of fundraising and ways of employing people and managing organizations have been developed that are not really nice or good or even legal. And in that sense, there is now when these organizations should open up, there is a great fear of actually being transparent. If our audiences and our partners and our funders can really see inside what we do, we feel as organizations in Serbia, we feel a bit fear, and there's this feeling like close the door. I mean, okay, the audiences, they have their space and we can meet in the cafe and talk, but do not enter our working space. And there is no really sincere collaboration if we fear to be transparent. Cultural organizations must be transparent in order to be able to communicate. And then there are many cases in which organizations are in a way forced to overcome these fears. Quite a lot, I think that people in the next room next to Vika and Vita, they know that most of the European funders, in their agendas, they have participation, collaboration, whatever, intercultural dialogue as one of the priorities. And then many organizations are pushed into this kind of collaboration. But then there's another question like, is it sincere? I mean, to me, it feels that somehow collaboration or participation is kind of an add-on. Once we have our project, then we know that we should add a bit of collaboration here and there just to make a project a bit more, let's say, so that we can receive more funds. And I think that even if you allow people to collaborate, there is this equality issue, like in the animal farm, like some pigs are more equal than others. And I think that there is this kind of feeling that artists or professional culture organizations and managers are not equal with others, with marginal organizations, with audiences, with amateur organizations, with journalists or whoever. And in a way, you can't ask me questions if we are not equal. You know, I know better. So I think that's a big issue as well. And then after all those years of not collaborating, a big mistrust have been created, and I think it's quite reasonable to fight it in all the ways we can, because if we feel that you cannot trust your collaborators, you cannot trust your partners, then we can't have sincere collaboration. And in the end, the way to justify all that is to say, yeah, but you know, nobody cares about culture today. And I mean, audiences, they don't care. Young people, they don't care. Old people, they don't care. Politicians, they don't care. You know, in this whole climate of nobody cares for what we do is a big psychological challenge to overcome if we want to really see the collaborative culture sphere. But of course, I won't end with these kind of fears and challenges. There are many organizations and specifically projects that actually deny all that I have said. Actually, that all people and managers and organizations that are capable of overcoming these kind of fears and ideologies are succeeding very much. I will then just in next 5 minutes present 3 projects that I find somehow good examples of potentials of digital culture in Serbia. One is a festival of short internet movies, the one that I've initiated 3 years ago, if I'm not 3 years ago. And the festival was just 100 seconds of movies in several categories. It's been done by a faculty of sports and tourism, so an actor that is not really in the center of the cultural sphere. But in 1 month, using the Facebook and Twitter and other tools, we were capable of raising more than 15,000 people to be audiences, voters, commenters, and more than 50 movies just in 1 month. So if whenever someone tells me, no, you know, audience they don't like, and young people they don't care, and young generations are not creative anymore, they don't, it's not true. It's a lie. There is a huge possibility for internet-based culture projects. One probably more famous or more how to say visible project. Probably some of you from Serbia and the region know it. It's called Otvoreno javnim prostorima, which means openly about public spaces. In Serbia, this great divide that I have mentioned is causing one big problem. Public institutions, they don't have programs and content, but they do have spaces. And then independent scene, they have ideas and content and projects, but they don't have spaces. And then we have a lot of deserted places in Serbia. And Građanska inicijativa, citizen initiative organization, has started this project, this great project, mainly based on web, on their website. On their website, which is actually mapping all the deserted places or the places that could be used for culture. And all this work has been done in a crowdsourced manner, so people randomly, slowly added one by one place. And it's a really good example of what we can do. Another project that I have initiated together with partners from Britain and Bulgaria is a theater portal called Teatr Serbia or Theater Serbia. It's designed for actors, managers, costume designers, all other kind of designers in the sphere of theater. And there we have denied that that there is no money for such things. We have received also some support from the state. People are slowly getting on the site, and some discussions are there. You can also see, if you join it, you can also see that this kind of mistrust or being afraid to post some things, for example, big national and other theaters are actually, they don't want to post, for example, calls for jobs or applications for jobs on websites like Theater Serbia, because they feel that then everyone could apply and then they have problems, you know. So it's a good experiment platform. And and the last project that I would like to talk to you briefly is called Artist as the Audience by Mirena Bobic Stojinovic. Actually, Boba Mirjana Stojinovic, sorry, which is actually excellent project, not online. It's mainly a live project, but they have used very well all the digital tools to extend their live meetings to the web. They have recordings and they're trying now with live sessions as well. They're calling all the public and audiences and artists, whoever, to talk about works of certain artists. And I think that this project of Boba is telling us a big and important message. If we do have enough energy and put enough effort to really push an idea for enough time, we will have results. And I think she's having now a really nice audience of people feeling secure and nice to share what they think about. So for the end, I think that the independent scene is the one in which we should look for the advancements in digital technologies. But we do really need to include other sectors like the public sector and the market-oriented sector into the collaboration and creation. But it's also important for me to not to how to say, to exchange marketing tools with really sincere collaboration in artistic and cultural manner. Thank you all for listening, and I saw some questions. I'll answer them.
Yeah, thank you very much, Goran. And indeed, there have been a lot of questions coming up in the meanwhile. Though I want a little bit to focus, a lot of the questions are going towards the cultural political situation in Serbia, which is indeed a very interesting topic. But I think we will get lost in a cultural political discussion now of the situations maybe in the countries of Eastern Europe, which is not the topic of today. So I would like to focus a little bit. And yeah, maybe to ask Goran, you already opened yourself some questions in the end. So what are the options for also collaborating with the other partners in the cultural scene regarding options of the internet? And I want to add, what are also the opportunities for the local national cultural scene using internet tools to connect with other cultural scenes in other countries?
Okay. Well, I think that for the start, it's important to take all the measures step by step. So if we now have only live collaboration, and if that live collaboration is still weak, then I think that we should really slowly accept tools, digital tools. So, for example, I think that for the first step, we should use digital tools just as an extension for the live collaboration, and this kind of because David had told us, there are also some misadvantages of, of online talking and collaborating. Like if you're afraid of being open, then maybe this kind of web seminar is too much. But we can discuss this, of course. But slowly we can just start to open up these whole discussions and to gain confidence in the whole collaborative process. So for the tools that we have, of course, Facebook is a great tool, and other using blogs and portals. As far as I know, blogging in culture is not that actually popular in Serbia, which is, I don't know, for some reason. And it's also important to know that Serbia, like 1/3 of all the inhabitants, and probably maybe even 1/2 of all the cultural organizations are in Belgrade. So this kind of distance is not a great problem for Serbia. But then we have the exclusion of the organizations in smaller cities. So I would say just slowly adapting one by one tool. Which tools? Maybe it's better to ask David, but I think that this whole climate should change by slowly gaining
And
confidence.
there has been posed a question by Joe too. He says, do you see a possible danger of IDs being stolen when being communicated through digital tools? Keyword geistiges Eigentum, copyright. What is your opinion on that? Also, yeah, maybe Goran first, and also David. Do you have experience?
Yeah, I think that
Mm, yeah, I think they're yeah. Austria. I'm in Austria. But anyway, I think I don't mind. No problem. I think that there are many more advantages to share ideas because you might find cooperation partners, for example, or you might get feedback for your idea. Yeah, it's you can further develop on your idea if you start somehow a crowdsourced process, yeah, to ask the public. Um, yes, it might happen that your idea is stolen, but I think
David, maybe you
so
want
many
to add something from the
artworks
point of Germany?
derive from other artworks or ideas, so that that's a process that is
Oh, sorry.
normal. Yeah. Difficult to say, but I think it's like in most sectors of society that people are somehow maybe even frightened to use online tools, but but you know some are early adopters and they go ahead and show the possibilities.
Hmm. And from that situation that Goran has described, do you have maybe have your opinion? How is it in Austria or but also in the German-speaking countries? Is there hesitation to use internet tools, or is it just one group using internet possibilities?
Um, so all of them are interested in culture and so on, but I think most of them are somehow already online, not experts, um, but connected to the online world.
Mm. And
It is
especially this
not a completely low
tool,
threshold
Kulturmanagement Treffpunkt, or using Adobe Connect
Yeah,
for online
option
discussions.
yeah.
part.
Maybe you can share with us
Well, I got a
who
question
is
about
the
what
audience? I
citizen
mean, who is
surveillance,
attending? Are these
and
people already affected to
I don't know.
internet, or are there more
It's a painful
coming from
topic, and
different fields
no,
and more
joking,
interested
but
in the specific topic?
Belgrade have been able to really move a bit ahead, and in Novi Sad we have two big groups. One is around Exit Festival, and they're using their social tools enormous in a great way, but to make
Mm. I think it's a process. Yeah, you know, more and more people will find our invitations on Facebook, and they will try to join, or they watch a recording,
Hmm.
and
So how do
but
you see the opportunities? I mean,
anyway,
both of
it will
you
be very difficult
also to connect people
to really address people
in
who are not yet
internationally on a
online.
European, maybe even on a
But
worldwide level to
it's a
exchange
process, and
uh,
we will get more and
the
more people
knowledge.
into
Do we address
this
just
society.
a specific group that is already online affected, or is there also the opportunity to open it? Goran, you answer in the chat, or what is Vita writing? No, but you can talk. I think it's if you have to say something to that question. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. I have never actively organized an event on Second Life, but I took part in some events, and what is nice, it is a 3D environment.
The discussion is basically
Where are you
going
sitting
into
or
two
staying
directions.
around
But
and
anyway, I
so
want to
standing around. So it is
pose to David now the question
it is
posed by
more a
Florian.
setting of a real
Can you
on-site
elaborate more
place.
on your experience in
You
using a 3D
experience
virtual world tool
and
such as
even
Second Life
listening
as a tool for
is
collaboration?
3D, so you
What are
cannot
the
hear
specific
if
affordances of
anybody's
3D virtual
approaching
worlds
from
for
behind you.
collaboration?
So it is more characterized. It has more of the character of an on-site event, and that is nice. But it's more difficult to get into Second Life, yeah, because you have so many keys to navigate, and not just a microphone and a camera button. Yeah. Yeah, not specifically in the sector of culture, but in many other fields. Yeah, like I don't know, journalism, yeah, or social media in general, politics.
But it's really interesting opportunity also. Maybe can you also, I mean, you presented some tools, but do you know also some other initiatives like Kulturmanagement Treffpunkt that use these tools to organize these kinds of events?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think in the sector of culture, there is still a lot of things to be explored. So it's already 1 o'clock. I mean, we will extend the time a little bit, but I also want to invite everyone now to pose the last questions to David and Goran. Are there any questions? Maybe Vita also, is there one question, important question that we haven't answered? I mean, I know that there have been some questions that haven't been answered that were going to the direction of Goran. It's more dealing with the political situation. Maybe he's
That's a good
also
question.
available a little bit
So
afterwards in the chat, so we can more freely
in most
already
occasions it was
also
a
continue talking
top-down
about
approach,
this. But
yeah,
now, Vita.
because we as the organizers decided that's
So
interesting
David was
whom to
asked by the
invite.
30 cultural managers sitting next door
But once
how he
and I
decides
think
upon the
this was
topic
good
that
to
are
have it,
coming on the agenda of
and we should
Kulturmanagement
go again into
Treffpunkt.
this direction. was a real crowdsourced process. So we asked our already quite large community to propose a speaker or a topic, and this went really well. So I like very much the approach to participate, to have the audience participate. Yeah, because it's the former audience. The topic which was suggested, I don't know anymore, but it was fine, and the process went well, and the audience participated. Yeah, but I would have to look at it. But it worked well.